Emmanuel here from King's Yard Ministry. I want to do a teaching on how to find God. Now, Matthew chapter 7, verse 7 says, if you seek Him, you will find Him. If you seek Him, you will find Him. And then Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6 says, He is a rewarder of those who seek Him diligently. So what's the difference between Matthew 7:7 and Hebrew 11 verse 6? Now, you can just look for God or look for an item, find it, and still not benefit from it. But you can also find the item, dig deeper, get something that will be useful to your cause. That is seeking Him diligently. So diligently seeking goes beyond just finding the entity. It must benefit you. And how do we do this? Galatians chapter 4, verse 1. Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, does not differ at all from a slave, though he is master of all, but is under guardians and stewards until the time appointed by the Father. Even so, we, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world. But when the fullness of the time had come, God sent forth His Son, born of a woman, born under the law, to redeem those who were under the law, that we might receive the adoption as sons. So there's something you must receive, because when you seek Him diligently, He will reward you. And the first question, what is this reward? God only gives us one thing. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. So He gives His Son, Jesus Christ, as the reward, as a solution to every problem. So the reward is Himself. He gives you Himself as the reward. That is why you see the terms here. An heir. You qualify to inherit. And what do you inherit? You don't work for your inheritance. There was an agreement between God the Father and God the Son. And you become a beneficiary of this agreement. So you were not part of this preordained covenant. In the same way, a father and a mother determined to give birth to a child and then determined to raise the child in a way and leave an inheritance for that child. So the child would not be part of the agreement as to what he must inherit. So what do you do as a child of God? You just show up to receive your inheritance. So when you seek Him diligently, when you seek God in Matthew 7:7, you find Him. But diligently seeking Him is taking your inheritance and applying it to your life. You can find God and still not get the inheritance. Why? Because you can still be a slave. The heir, as long as he's a child, does not differ at all from a slave. So you can relate to God the Father as a slave. See Him as a slave. Relate to Him as a slave. Your inheritance becomes something that you must work for. For slaves must work. They must toil for something they must take in life. And you can also, on the other hand, see God as your Father. Relate to Him as a son. And then you enjoy the inheritance as a son. If there's nothing to take, there's nothing to find. I can't just look for the entity and just hold it in my hand. I must dig deeper, because God gives birth to you and then gives you a purpose. And then He takes you, He said, verse 5, to redeem those who were under the law, that we might receive the adoption as sons. What does that mean? Now, if I must adopt somebody, the person must denounce their parents. So that I take him because then he wouldn't have parents. Or the person must die, then I take the person. So when Jesus went to the cross, he went with you and he died with you. In your death, you no longer have parents. So he regenerates your spirit. So God becomes a father of your spirit. That is adoption. Now you qualify to enjoy everything in the spirit. For in the spirit there's liberty. So this is Pastor Edem Adom. We continue in the next session. But just understand that you need to seek him diligently so that you can have the inheritance. God bless you.